Good morning, good day, good evening, depending on what time it is by you. I am glad you're here watching this video. I think I'm going to have 3, maybe 4 videos for you today. It's a busy Monday full of news if you happen to be watching it here on Monday. And I want to thank you for being here, for always liking the videos, and for leaving your comments down in the comment area below. I definitely read them all and enjoy the conversations and the memes that go on there. So today's video is a little spicier topic, but it's an interesting one because it's one that deals with pandering, one that I've talked about for a long time, and it's interesting seeing some people get a little tired of it, and especially with the Marvel Universe, it's been something we've talked about, and there's several takes, and I think you all know my stance. Obviously, I think representation is awesome when it's organic, and it's cool and everything's fine with it. And the only issue I ever take is when people do it for digital backpats or for marketing reasons. I think if it's clear, that's where I stand. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank a sponsor. Let's roll that beautiful sponsor ad footage. Woohoo! Look at the size of that dragon. Guys, I have an amazing announcement about the mobile game that I recommended to you last time, Raid Shadow Legends. Special tournament is happening right now globally, and you can compete with me and millions of others in a massive arena tournament for crazy in-game prizes and even physical prizes that winners will get delivered straight to their house. Just as a reminder, for those of you that somehow missed it, Raid is a brand new free-to-play RPG with the most amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. This is the absolute best time to join the action. Go to the description of this video, download Raid only through my link, and you'll get 50,000 silver immediately, plus a free epic champion as a new player program, and you'll automatically enter the special launch tournament right away. Check out the link in the description below. All right, so if you've been following the Marvel, I hope that wasn't too cringy for you, but I appreciate you enduring an ad. It does help the channel an absolute ton, and if you check out that app, let me know what you think about it. I saw a story come out the other week, an article that said why we don't need a gay Marvel superhero. And I figured, okay, well, this is probably bait. This is probably another virtue signaling article, but it ended up that it wasn't. And we're going to read it in a minute here. We're going to go over some parts of it, but I want to show you kind of how we got here. It was a big deal when Avengers Endgame had some diversity in it. Basically, the mentioning of gayness in the Marvel Universe. And it was an exact thing I expected. Half of the community was celebrating, talking about how amazing it was, and half of the community said, well, it wasn't enough. And I think you can gauge the reaction of the community the reaction of the community is obvious when it's pandering. And when you got the director of the film playing the role and writing it in and walking all over, hyperextending his shoulder as he pats himself on the back for it, I'm not going to give you any credit. And it seems like the LGBT community is getting a little tired of it as well. And I think that's a good thing, because I've never thought that pandering was an overall net positive. I think that it's just a divisive thing that's all about me. It's not actually about representation. It's not actually about mainstreaming stuff. It's about getting your digital backpats. So when they had put a mention of this in the original, or in the Endgame series, a very small scene when Captain America is doing like a therapy session, some guy mentions that he was on a date with a dude. Who cares, right? I guess in that case, it was organic in that case, but the problem was that they ran out and did all these interviews talking about how woke they were and how awesome they were and how it's so important. I think if more Hollywood types would be able to do this and come out when they get all these questions about, representation and how amazing it is. If they would just say, look, it's a part of the movie, just like it's a part of real life, I'm not a hero. I think that is the type of reaction that I would like to see out of directors if I'm going to believe that they really believe what they're saying instead of just pandering. Fast forward a few weeks, and then Avengers comes out and goes J.K. Rowling on us, saying Avengers Endgame directors reveal that one of Marvel's existing characters is gay, but fans are mocking the lackluster announcement. Again, this is what happens. The Avengers Endgame directors, Anthony and Joe Russo, recently revealed that existing characters in the MCU is gay, but fans in the LGBTQ communities, many of whom have been begging for representation in the MCU for years, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's really the case, but, whatever, weren't impressed with the announcement. During an interview on SiriusXM, Russo brothers were asked about Joe's cameo at Endgame marked the first acknowledgement of queerness in the Marvel film. See, that's the thing. When the director themselves is the one doing it, it becomes very sus. You know what I mean? Like you know that he wanted those digital backpats. I don't believe that you're really interested in organically integrating it. And to be honest, like in the MCU, there are some subplots of romance, but for the most part, there isn't. I mean, you have Iron Man's kind of romance and some undertones. Certainly, you could work in some undertones and it would be organic, which, of course, I think everyone would be fine with. It's always the reaction or the, quick turning around for everyone to pat you on the back stuff. There's been insinuations about other characters, but this is the first openly gay character. So in 2018, which is, there are characters in Jessica Jones. There are characters in currently in the comic books, Iceman, so, in the movies, okay, fine. In 2018, Feige teased that 2 openly gay characters in the MCU, both ones you've seen and ones you haven't seen. So it's going to be, Captain Marvel? The vague comment quickly made headlines, and Russo Brothers studio announcement this week. And, of course, Disney has been accused of straight-washing. So, of course, every time you do this, right, Loki, Valkyrie, Korg, AO, sometimes LGBTQ community disappoints me with all their support of Marvel movies when they are blatantly straight-washing characters on screen from the very beginning. I wonder how long such fans will continue to do so. Well, I don't know. I don't really care about that in movies. But maybe, I'm willing to accept the possibility that maybe it's because I'm straight, but I doubt it. As I've said before in the past, even though I'm from a small town, I have several gay couples as friends, and we don't ever talk about what we don't ever talk about their preferences. That's not normal, I don't think. We talk about sports events or the weather or what's going on, or we talk about, regular everyday things. We're not talking about their lifestyles and who they're partnered up with. That's not, I just don't think that's on most gay folks' minds all the time, I guess. But I'm basing that on knowing a grand total of 6 or 7, So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But certainly these news outlets love to talk about this and love to critique whether anything was ever enough. And the answer to that question is nothing is ever enough in terms of the media. Again, I have no problem with any of it, but it's just when it's forced or when it's done so for purely PR, I have a problem with it. And it seems like a lot of the gay community now are starting to stand up and say, look, stop using us to make money. Stop using us as a marketing ploy. And I think that is a great attitude, because that's what I've been saying. And I'm sure that there are many in that community that have felt that way longer than I have. Absolutely. So we get this article by John Olksinski, Why We Don't Need a Gay Marvel Superhero. We, the gay people, have finally reached the Everest of equality. No, I'm not talking about the legislation of gay marriage. The big news is the Avengers Endgame, Anthony and Joe Russo revealed Marvel superhero will soon come out of the closet. Pop the cork, set off the fireworks, call up RuPaul for a comment. Now the world will learn that a gay hero can lift a car, make a quip, and be as emotionally vague as any straight superhero can. That's real progress. Is it, though? Seems to me like more empty pandering for my money. Boom! I knew it. I knew it, but I'm glad that people are brave enough to write these articles. And I'm serious in that there will be real backlash to this. For some reason, the Disney-owned multi-billion-dollar earning MCU universe has become a scrappy banner carrier for equality and representation. Black Panther and Captain Marvel were Bollywood as if they were ballyhooed as if they were human rights victories as much as films, because who needs, I don't know, actual legal and societal achievements when you've got pretty lip service from Hollywood? According to Gallup, we gays make up about 4.5% of the American population and 3.4% of the Australian population. Must we be in everything regardless of quality? With a gay character especially, such a move wouldn't constitute groundbreaking Ellen Show moment anyway. It would be a targeted social media pleasing ploy. That kind of shallow gimmickry we see over and over again. Remember in 2007 when J.K. Rowling announced that Professor Dumbledore had been gay in Harry Potter the whole time, or when Disney promised an exclusively gay moment in the remake of Beauty and the Beast, which amounted to little more than Batting his eyelashes at Gaston at the pub. The most recent bait and switch actually came from Marvel. When Endgame was released in March, we were told that it featured the MCU's first openly gay character. Huh? I thought perhaps my glasses prescription isn't strong enough. The millions of people around the world who have seen that movie probably also didn't spot it, because it was an unnamed guy in the 5 years later group session who talks for 30 seconds about going on a date. To whom should we address thank you cards? Representation is really important, Joe Russo told Deadline of the scene. It was important to us that we did to us as we did 4 of these films. We wanted a gay character somewhere in them. It's perfect time, because one of the things that is compelling us about the MCU moving forward is its focus on diversity. Tell you what, instead of focusing on bowing to the whims of Twitter and Medium.com with head-scratching cameo, or trying to pry salty tears out of my eyes with a scene filled of gay flirting, just make a good movie. We'll buy a ticket if it's good. That is a good article. That is an article that I 100% agree with, mostly because it also hits on a lot of the opinions that I've had about open pandering in general as well, that I don't know if it necessarily does any good. You could use the tired old excuse that, well, it's good because people are talking about it. Is it really though? I mean, or maybe do these folks just want to go on about their lives and not be constantly put on a pedestal? I mean, it's 2000 and current year right now. It's not 1950. I think if you have a problem with people's, choices in life, or people's sexuality, not a choice, but you get what I mean, is that you're in the absolute minority now. And this whole where's the representation in every little thing is tiring. It makes gay folks look weak. It makes them look like they're whiny. And most of the time, the people that are writing these articles aren't gay anyway. They're not people that are even a part of that community. They're just, of course, presenting themselves as the savior of them when nobody's really asking for it. I mean, maybe a small percentage, but at the end of the day, just make a good movie. That's all I've ever said. And, if things happen organically or they're part of the story, nobody cares. But when you go on this celebration victory lap every single time you put something gay in a movie, I don't think it does the community any good. I don't think people are buying it. I don't think that it makes you look genuine, and I don't think it makes you a hero. I hope you enjoyed this video, though, and we'll talk to you again real soon.